Hello, and welcome back to Retirement Briefing. I'm really glad you're here with me today. If you're watching this, chances are you're someone who likes to stay informed, but you also value peace of mind. And that's exactly what this channel is about. Calm, clear updates that help you protect what you've earned and avoid unnecessary stress. So take a breath, get comfortable, and let's talk for a few minutes. Now, I want to start with something important because something is arriving from Social Security on Christmas Day. And I know how that sounds. Anytime we hear Social Security and official notice in the same sentence, especially around the holidays, our minds can jump to worry. But let me reassure you right away. This is not a bill. It's not bad news. And it's not something to panic about. But it is something that matters, and it's something every Social Security recipient should understand before it quietly shows up online and then in the mail. Here's why this matters so much for seniors and retirees right now. This one document can affect your taxes, your eligibility for future benefits, and even how smoothly things go if there are any changes or payments down the road. Simply knowing what it is, why you're receiving it, and what to do with it can save you a lot of confusion later. And my goal today is to walk you through all of that, step by step, in plain English, like I'd explain it to a close friend or family member. For more than a decade, I've helped American seniors navigate retirement decisions, Social Security questions, and financial changes after 60. I've sat at kitchen tables, listened to worried voices on the phone, and seen firsthand how one confusing letter can cause weeks of stress. Especially during the holidays, when you should be enjoying time with family, not worrying about paperwork. So let's talk calmly and clearly, without pressure. Right now, as we wrap up the year and look ahead to 2026, Social Security is preparing to release your annual benefit record. On Christmas Day, this document becomes available online for those with a My Social Security account. Starting the very next day, printed copies begin arriving in mailboxes all across the country. By the end of January, nearly every beneficiary will have received it. The official name for this document is the SSA 1099. Some people just call it their Social Security income statement. And here's the key thing to understand. This is the official record of how much Social Security paid you during the year. It's the same information Social Security sends directly to the IRS. That's why it's important. Not because something is wrong, but because this is the number that exists in the system. Let me slow that down for a moment. This document does not mean you owe money. It does not mean you did something wrong. And it does not automatically mean you need to file taxes if you haven't in the past. It's simply a record. But it's a powerful one because it connects your benefits to taxes, income rules, and future programs. In most years, seniors glance at this form, stick it in a drawer, and never think about it again. And honestly, most of the time that's fine. But this year is different. And that's why you're hearing more about it, and that's why I wanted to talk to you before it arrives. We've just come through a year with a lot of changes. Cost of living adjustments, discussions about Social Security funding, tax rule updates for seniors, and ongoing conversations about possible stimulus payments. When systems are changing, accurate records matter more. This document is your proof of what you received, plain and simple. Let's talk about real life for a moment. Imagine you're a retiree who lives on Social Security and a small pension. You've never had to file taxes, and you don't expect to. Then one year, your Social Security benefit goes up because of a COLA increase, or you receive a retroactive payment you weren't expecting. Suddenly, your total income for the year looks different on paper than it did before. That doesn't mean you did anything wrong, but it does mean the numbers changed. And this document shows exactly how. Or maybe you're someone who keeps hearing about possible future stimulus checks. Nothing is guaranteed, of course, but we've seen in the past that when payments are issued, they rely heavily on income records. Most people receive them automatically, but not everyone. And when there's a delay or a missing payment, documentation is what helps resolve it. Years ago, many seniors only received missed stimulus money because they were able to show their income records later. This form played a role in that. That's why I like to think of this document as quiet protection. You may never need it, but if you do, you'll be glad you kept it. Another group of seniors really needs to pay attention this year. If you received an increase in benefits, back pay, or any kind of adjustment over the past year, your total income number may be higher than you're used to seeing. Again, this isn't bad. It's often good news. But higher income on paper can change how things are viewed during tax season. This form reflects those changes clearly. So what should you actually do when it arrives? Let me make this as simple as possible, because this does not need to be complicated. When the document becomes available or shows up in your mailbox, open it. Take a calm look at the total benefits paid for the year. Ask yourself one simple question. Does this number generally make sense based on what I received each month? You don't need to remember exact cents. You're just checking that it feels right. Errors are rare, but they do happen. And if something is off, it's much easier to address it early than months later when the IRS already has the information. Most people will see that everything looks fine, feel reassured, and move on. That reassurance alone is worth a few minutes of your time. Once you've looked at it, put it somewhere safe. A folder, an envelope, a drawer where you keep important papers. I always suggest having one place labeled something like Social Security and taxes. That way, if a question ever comes up, you know exactly where to look. Now, I want to touch briefly on online access because some of you hear about my Social Security accounts and feel pressured. Let me be very clear. You are not required to go online. You will still receive your paper documents. Your benefits do not depend on being tech-savvy. If you like using a computer or smartphone, online access can be convenient. But if you don't, that's perfectly okay. Paper still counts. What matters is that you receive the information and review it in a way that feels comfortable to you. Also, please remember what not to do. Don't throw this document away. Don't ignore it completely. And don't assume it's meaningless just because you haven't needed it before. This year has more moving parts, and having this record gives you control. As we wrap up, I want to say this from the heart. You've earned your benefits. You've worked hard, paid into the system, and you deserve clarity, not confusion. This isn't about fear or urgency. It's about staying informed so you can enjoy your retirement with fewer worries. If this explanation helped you feel calmer and more prepared, that means everything to me. And if you know another senior who gets anxious when official mail arrives, please consider sharing this with them. Sometimes a calm voice makes all the difference. Before you go, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned to Retirement Briefing for clear, respectful updates that put your peace of mind first. We'll continue to watch the news, track changes that affect seniors, and break them down in a way that makes sense. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself, enjoy the holidays, and remember, you're not alone in this. I'll see you in the next update right here on Retirement Briefing.